If you move, please make sure you're not near somebody that you're going to be talking to, talking weekend plans and skullduggery. Oh, God, no, where's the sound? Full screen. All right, why am I not getting the sound? Okay, he may not be live yet. Looks like he's waiting.
Today, our whole team is here for you and your teams.
Cleveland Clinic cares for athletes.
And be active.
We'll get you back in the game.
Whether your goal is moving pain-free,
Finishing the race.
or lifting an entire community,
Trust Ohio's #1 orthopedic care.
to keep you at your best, Cleveland Clinic is here for you.
Anytime,
Anywhere.
Find your way to the best care at clevelandclinic.org/access.
Thank you, sir. All right, where is my IT person? Just cut in front of it this time. But don't bump that or we're really in doghouse. All right, we should be getting audio out of the speakers from this guy. Do you want to drive?
No.
Just don't bump that.
Alright, you gotta get audio out of what?
We should be getting audio out of these speakers.
Are they plugged in?
The speakers aren't working?
Well, when I ran a test on it, it
I
worked.
thought that's what, yeah.
But is there something like X'd out?
I don't know.
Do you have the thing on mute?
I guess we can try that.
Brian, you see the microphone thing in the corner? On the right?
Mark?
When you think about being
Got
healthy,
it.
you think of three things. You think of being physically active, about being socially healthy, as well as mentally healthy. But there are many different areas of wellness. So, of course, you know about physical activity, you know about sleep, nutrition, mental, But as I stated, social is a big one. So a lot of you right now or in high school, the people you associate yourself with, people you hang around with, that affects you in a mental state, can affect you physically, a lot of big things about it. Intellectual stimulation. It does help for you to learn new things. You are young at this age right now. As you get older, like to my age, you stop learning as much. So keep learning as much as you can. Stress management is always a big one. Stress can affect you mentally, physically, affect your sleep. So it's always good to have proper stress management techniques. Hopefully for all of you, you have healthy habits. So like hygiene, shower, brush your teeth. That way you have healthy habits. They take a while. Like for me, I happen to work in a gym, so my habit is come in, work out, then go to work. But it's become so normal to me, it's become like a habit. But you can't have all this without purpose. So that's why I put that at the last part of that puzzle. Because truthfully, if you don't want care about your health, you really won't have it. So if you don't care about what you eat, you don't care about going to sleep, you don't care about working out, you won't get better. So purpose is the main thing you need to kind of strive for. Now, the one thing I always say to anyone is that social media is a liar. I don't care if it's experts on TV, I don't care if it's Twitter, social media, a lot of those things aren't really based off fact. They're just based off of people's opinions, which can be supported by fact, but at the same time, find research that's anything I want to tell you about. And that's really why I don't like people who are trying to sell you something. Like if I'm being paid $200,000 to sell you this technique, best believe I will do that. My main thing is to say you are all unique individuals. And because you are unique, you have to find your own path that works best for you. So it's going to become kind of trial and error. Now, a lot of times, a little bit later on, don't set unrealistic goals. What I mean is, if you want to lose weight or get stronger, that is awesome. But don't say, oh, right now I'm going to lose 50 pounds and get abs by June. Is that really realistic? You see people doing it on social media, but sometimes it's not always feasible. Of a Instagram model. You see in the picture on your left, or at least my left, she takes that picture, looks amazing, got them abs, great outfit. She then takes a picture of her sitting down right away and says, this is me at a normal angle 99% of the time. I like this picture because she's telling you she knows how to take pictures. Certain lighting, certain angles, what you do affects how you look in pictures. So a lot of times it's really about deception. Now, the one thing I always like to promote, of course, is physical activity. So if you want to lose weight, nutrition, of course, but also got to be physically active. Now, me personally, I play football, but you see I got hurt a lot. That's because I did not follow one thing on that chart. I did not work on my flexibility. So when you think about those 4 cornerstones of physical activity, you got to have cardio. So if you're doing a sport, 9 times out of 10, you need to have good cardio. You need to have good strength and also flexibility. So really flexibility is important. It helps you recover when you're sore, as well as reduce the chances of injuries. Like I said, I've had 5 surgeries now, and I keep trying to stretch, but at this point now, I'm kind of on the back burner trying to catch back up. But the biggest thing people don't look at is also balance. So people always think if you're strong and you're fast, you'll be a great athlete. I knew a dude who was 6'4", 270, ran a 4.4, and could bench out the gym, but if I just was to push him, he would fall right over. That's called clumsiness. If any of you all play sports and you don't have any balance, you should know you're not going to be a great player. I'm sorry. Because you're going to be clumsy. Or you'll get hurt. Like, especially if you play basketball. So when you think about basketball, you're going up for a layup, somebody bumps you. If you don't have the balance and land back on your feet, and they're like Gordon Hayward and will break something. That happens a lot. Now, people always ask, well, how do you work on these kind of things? So for those who are willing, those who want to, we'll just do quick demonstrations. So everybody who wants to, mind you, y'all go ahead and get up really fast. Yeah. So, like I said, when you talk about cardio, do little things. Stuff like, for those who want to, who got a little bit of space, all you gotta do, especially for those who are sitting in class all day, do like a little jog. So for like just 20 seconds, just do a little jog in place, that blood flowing, cardio, same thing. Jogging, walking, swimming, biking, anything that gets your heart flowing for at least 10 minutes or more will work on that cardio. So like I said, that was 20 seconds. If any of you all did it and you're tired, that's shameful. Work on some more. Strength. Now, people always think you have to lift heavy weights to build strength. I'm gonna tell you something personally. I was at the gym yesterday. I benched 225 27 times. That means nothing at all. When you are in a world where you don't use your strength, all you gotta do is basic things. So body strength. So those who are at home, push-ups, squats. So like for those who are in a chair, who have the ability, all you gotta do from a chair, sit down and just stand up. Like sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. So truthfully, if you're at home, you can do this during commercials. You can do this just in class sometimes. Teacher might yell at you, but you say, I'm stretching out my legs. Legs a little bit tight. Because me, I can't sit down for more than 5 minutes. My body is always moving. I don't know why, it's just me. So you think about that, you're working out your legs. You're building strength in those legs. Little things like that, including body weights, can be very beneficial for you. Flexibility. So like I talked about before, stretching. So if you're doing something as far as like, a quad stretch, you bring your foot to your hand, hold it. Always try to stretch for about 30 seconds at a time. And just hold it. Just want to get my quad in. You can go straight down, get your hamstrings in, say hold for 30 seconds. Like I said, that's very beneficial. Balance, very simple. All you gotta do is stand on one leg and just hold it. Works on your balance. Now, if you think it's too easy, close your eyes. As you close your eyes, you work on a thing called proprioception. Proprioception is knowing where your body is at in space. So, i.e., when you're playing basketball and you get bumped, you really don't look at where you're landing. But if you work on proprioception, your body knows where to land. Now, for those who know sports, if you are a gymnast, you have to have great proprioception. You must know where your body is at all times. If not, when you do a flip, you land on your face. So these are a little bit of demonstrations you can always do, just like I said, a few minutes a day. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go to the gym. It's just keeping yourself active. So people think about being physically active as far as just, I gotta go to a gym. Just keep your body moving. Keep it moving as much as you can in order to help burn calories. Now, the second part of that is I get people all the time and saying, well, I'm being active. I'm going on the treadmill. I'm doing these things. My first question is, well, what are you eating like? Because if you just all of a sudden eating fast food and go on a treadmill for like 20 minutes at like 1 mile an hour, you're not gonna burn as many calories if you just took in. So it's always important to know intake versus how many calories you burn. Tom, think without. Good. So first of all, how to lose weight. Very simple. It's just knowing to burn more calories than you eat. So i.e., if you want to gain weight, eat more calories than you burn. If you want to maintain weight, burn about the same amount of calories you eat. So that's just basic one-on-one nutrition. Weight Watchers makes millions, if not billions of dollars just knowing that basic science. So when you think about how many calories you should eat, it's always good to kind of know. So one thing you should always look at is a term called BMR. So BMR is your basal metabolic rate. So when you think about that, it's about how many calories your body needs in order to function. So people think, oh, I shouldn't eat. That's not smart. Your body is like a car. Cars need fuel. If you don't put fuel in your car, it's not going anywhere. And also, does it matter what kind of fuel you put in your car? Yes, it does. So, i.e., if you are not eating nutritious foods that are good, as far as vitamins and minerals, you're not doing your body justice. But like I said, the BMR is how many calories your body needs in order to function. So that includes temperature control, nerve function, circulatory. So you need these just internally. So if you think about calculating your basal metabolic rate, there's an equation right there on top of your screen. I highly doubt any of you are actually going to do it. So the other way is to just go online and find out right now. So when you go online, you can go to many different sites. And these sites, all you got to do is type in your weight, your age, your height, and your sex. So right now, we're on as an example. So my 42 pounds. Right here. Yeah. Gotcha. Current weight is 242 pounds. Height is 6 feet, 2 inches. Age 29. The sex is male. So I need 2,122 calories a day in order just to function. That's how many calories I need. Now, like I said, your BMR does matter on these factors because if you are bigger, you're gonna need more calories to function. If you are a male, you're gonna need more calories to function. If you are younger, you also need more calories to function too. So that's why all these factors take into account when doing your basal metabolic rate. So generally, go to like FitnessPal apps and you're trying to lose weight, the general goal to try to hit in mind is around your BMR. Because your BMR is anywhere up to 75% of your daily caloric intake. Now your daily caloric intake is how many calories you just are used to having. That can be just you eating all day. But remember, it's always good to at least get the amount of calories your body needs in order to function. Now, the biggest example I like using is like, what's the comparison? Like if you want to eat your food like me, I'm a foodie. I love certain foods, especially sweets. So I know if I'm trying to lose weight and I love me a candy bar is 215 calories, give or take. If I go on a treadmill and say I either walk at 3 miles an hour for 30 minutes or even jog, I can walk 4 miles an hour for 30 minutes, I'm gonna burn anywhere from 200 to 250 calories. So that takes all that time on a treadmill just to burn off that one candy bar. So you gotta think, is it really worth it? So I tell everybody that if you wanna lose weight, I'm not saying don't eat. I'm not saying don't get the foods you love, but I am very big on portion. So i.e., if you honestly want some chocolate, if you honestly want a cookie, you honestly want a donut, that's fine. Have a cookie, don't have cookies. If you want a donut, that's fine. Don't have a box of donuts. Because people have a tendency to, once they get it, eat the whole thing. Portion it out. Because at the same time, it's not worth it. Because you eat all this food, then you kind of feel sluggish, your mind don't work. So it's always very important to have these factors when you think about what I'm gonna do as far as the day of what I'm gonna eat. Which is why it's very important to meal prep. So a lot of times it's just, if you eat fast food, it's because you're hungry. You're gonna get whatever's convenient, whatever fast, and then you just overeat. Try having little snacks, little granola bars, little fruits, little vegetables, something to just snack on so you don't get that pure hunger in your system. Because a lot of times, like I said, they say don't eat at night. Personally, this is me personally, I don't really believe that. The problem is if you are up late at night and you're eating late at night, what are you gonna eat? Generally, anything you can find that's not healthy. So that's usually why the weight loss comes on at nighttime, and we'll get into that a little bit more later on. Like I said, sleep. Sleep is very important. Your body needs sleep for your mind, for your hormone regulation, just overall everything. So physically, like right now, for those y'all who are already sleeping on this presentation, I bet it's because you weren't sleeping last night. So generally, you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. It was 6 to 8, they moved up to 7 to 9. Do all of us get 7 to 9? I highly doubt it, but it's always good to strive for it. So when I talk about healthy habits, that's also getting yourself ready for bed. So if you're a person who watches TV, plays video games, does homework in your bed, it's generally gonna be hard to fall asleep in your bed. Make your bed just for sleeping. And maybe a few other things, but mainly just for sleeping. Because at the same time, if you use your bed to do everything else, your body's not gonna know when it's time to go to bed. It's have a hard time going. Like me personally, I like having a little snack, taking my shower, go to bed. That routine gets my mind ready to go to bed. So when I wake up, I know I'm always refreshed. Because like I said, that sleep debt will take a toll on you eventually. Now, I'm not saying we all don't have nights where you might step a little bit later, but like I said, after a while, it toll keeps getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, and then sooner or later, you're going to crack. It might be your mood, it might be your body, but something will crack. So like I said, if you get 8 hours of sleep, you compared to 5, you will generally see your BMI get smaller. So BMI is body mass index. So generally, if you think about people who work late night shifts or they're staying up late, generally they have a tendency to gain weight. The reason behind that is also 2 hormones. When you're up late at night, you regulate 2 hormones. That's called your leptin and your ghrelin. So ghrelin tells you when you're hungry. That increases. So all of a sudden, it's 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, you get really hungry. That's about normal because ghrelin is going up. Leptin tells you when you're full. That goes down. So at nighttime, not only are you eating unhealthy foods, but you're eating more of it because you're not feeling full. So keep in mind, when you eat, portion things out. Because even myself, if I'm up late at night watching TV especially, you're just blind eating. You got a bag of chips and a bag of popcorn, you just eating, not realizing you eat the entire bag. So be very mindful of that. Like I said, sooner or later, you're gonna fall. So sleep is very good. But it goes back to time management. So a lot of times people say, well, I don't have time to do X, Y, and Z. I don't have time to do my homework, do this, and be in bed by, say, 10:30. I don't really believe that. It's all about time management. So there's two kinds of time. There's real time and there's clock time. Clock time doesn't change. 60 seconds in a minute, an hour in a day. That doesn't change. So if all you right now gotta be in class for an hour, that doesn't change. Real time is your perception of that hour. So right now, if you're having a good time in class, that hour can go by in 10, 15 minutes. Like, i.e., if you're with your friends and you're out for 5 hours, you'd be like, oh, I was only out for an hour or so. No, you were on for 5 hours, but you perceive it that way. Now, if you think my presentation is boring, this hour seems like 5 hours. It's expanding out a lot longer now because your perception is, I really don't want to be here. So what you perceive and what's reality isn't always the same. So a lot of times when you really schedule what the day is like and your time management, you'll have that time. Because in the day you do 3 things. You have your thoughts, your conversations, and then your actions. So whatever you do, it's of those 3 things. So make sure everything is in a positive light. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, there are a quality of life. So I'm showing you all like a graph right now. So on the left is your health, on the bottom is your age. At age 30, your body starts declining. So at age 30, you reach your physical peak. And I always give that prime example of, say, like athletes. Once athletes hit past their 30s, you start seeing a decline in their performance. I don't really care who you are. Even LeBron James, as soon as he hit 30 years old, everybody was saying he needs to rest more often. He can't jump like he used to. He ain't gonna burn. That's the average aspect because our body starts to decline. So at age 30, we start declining. And just for the generalization, say at age 80 is the age where you happen to die. So you have a natural decline from age 30 all the way down to 80. Now, the problem with that is if you really don't care about your health and you don't care about what you do, you never reach your peak. So at age 30, your peak is really only a certain portion of what it should be. So now it's like, bam, age 30, you reach your peak, which is not very high, what it could have been because you didn't either sleep right, you didn't take care of, you was doing drugs or alcohol, you weren't exercising, and you weren't eating right. So then guess what happens? You go down just as fast. Now, like I said, you would think at this age, you might die. Not necessarily. This is an age of great technology. Medicine has made great strides. You will stay alive, but that's not gonna increase your quality of life. So for that entire time, until the age of 80, you have to spend your time in a nursing home. Have somebody feed you, bathe you, wipe you, clothe you, because now you don't have the ability to take care of yourself because your quality of life is diminished. So below Langston Hughes is actually adult daycare. And I say anybody who's in adult daycare below the age of 65, 70, 9 times out of 10, they had unhealthy habits, doing drugs, drinking, smoking. These increase risk factors for secondary diseases. And like I said, with medicine nowadays, you probably won't die. But personally, to me, that's not a great time of life. I don't want to be somewhere where I gotta have somebody tell me when I can eat, what I can do. My ego is too big to have anybody wipe my behind. So that's why I try to take care of my body now so later on in life, I can just have fun. So truly, you can slow the decline down. So just because we all decline doesn't mean you truly have to. So think about it, aspect age 30, we all start going down a little bit, but at a certain time, you can be 80 years old, you don't have to be all the way down to where you can't walk anymore. Like my grandma, years old, she was dancing today until she died because she took care of her lifestyle. Certain people who take care of lifestyles can make a difference between ending up in a wheelchair or just kicking it out with your friends, whatever you want to do. Main goal of all we want to do is have a great quality of life to a point to where we strive for greatness. And like I said, come back to a point to where we can just be what we kind of want to be. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the problem with that is we have a lot of self-imaging problems. So I like a term called body image. So like you talked about earlier, the woman from Instagram, body image is how you perceive yourself. It's precisely how you look. It includes your height, your weight, your shape, your skin tone, anything but your perception about what you might want to change. But if you have a positive body image, it leads to good self-esteem. Good self-esteem will lead to positive mental health. And positive mental health will then correlate back to a positive body image about yourself. But if you have a poor body image of yourself, that will affect your self-esteem. And with low self-esteem, you are more likely to develop mental health problems. With these mental health problems, you'll end up going back and seeing yourself worse and worse and worse. It becomes a very vicious cycle, which is very hard to break. So it's always very important to keep yourself in a high limelight. Now, I said, a lot of you are in high school or middle school or even a little bit older. It does matter who you hang around with. So if you got friends who are always saying, oh, you ugly, you fat, you ain't nothing, and they're honestly hurting your self-esteem, cut them loose. They're not really your friend. Now, we all make jokes. I'm not going to say that. I make jokes, my friends make jokes, but it has to be in good taste, and you honestly know you have some positive feedback. It's like, we might make jokes here, but they'll support me anytime I need them or when we're just talking. So make sure you know the difference between somebody making fun of you and somebody just joking around with you. So, a lot of times, parents are always concerned about the health problems that impact children. Like nowadays, the biggest problem is really cyberbullying. So a lot of times, parents feel helpless. They can't do anything to it. So when I go back to social media, I'm not a big fan of it. Because if talk smack to somebody, smack to me, I'm gonna do it right in your face. I don't do it behind anybody's back. I don't do it behind my back. So right now, you'd be mindful of what you're doing online, what you're posting. I'm gonna tell you something. We hire people to Cleveland Clinic. They look at your social media pages. If you have some raunchy pictures or anything on your Instagram or your Facebook, you will not be hired. And then if you do also those same pictures, you will be bullied. So be very mindful of that. Internet safety. Like I said, if you're putting up these things on social media about where you are at, you are going to be in an aspect to put yourself into harm's way. People are looking at where you're going at. So be very mindful of that. Stress. Like I said before, stress management is a big thing even at young ages. It's very good to learn how to manage stress in a positive way. So when I mean positive way, I mean music, talking to somebody. Me personally, I enjoy working out. It's awesome. Unhealthy ways, smoking, drinking, which are probably the norms for the adults. So we're trying to break those habits right now. When people get stressed out, they start smoking. It became a habit, it's hard for them to break it. People get stressed out, they drink. A healthy habit, hard for them to start breaking it. So it's good to understand when you're stressed out to not use factors that are gonna hurt you in the long run. Use positive factors. For those of you who are driving, be very careful on motorcycles or even in cars. So that whole texting and driving, be very mindful of it. School violence. When I said before about cyberbullying, it therefore correlates to school violence. People who are violent in school usually have that low body image or self-esteem. So I said, it does help to encourage people, because when you encourage someone else, you really do increase their self-esteem, which encourages them to become less violent, as well as depressed, as well as healthy eating. A lot of healthy eating is due to factors of just stress eating. I don't know about you all. Sometimes I'm upset. I like some ice cream. That's just me personally. I know my tricks, but I know if I do have ice cream to limit myself. Healthy eating. If you're also in class and you say you're hungry, don't go out and just always get the hot fries every day from the vending machine. Now, I'm not saying don't eat hot fries. I'm just saying instead of getting it twice a day or every day, bring an apple, bring some fruit in. That way, have them hot chips a couple times a week. Portion yourself out. Because I'm never telling anybody don't eat the foods they love. That's unrealistic. Like I said, that leads to less exercise and less movement. Also about movement is being active. So if a lot of you are not playing sports, as soon as you get home from school, you're sitting around, that's not healthy. Now I know me personally, I'm in Cleveland, it's always cold here. Do things inside your house. Move around, walk around, keep yourself active. Like I said, drug abuse and sexting are also concerns parents have. So when you think about health and wellness, think about not only yourself, think about your family. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was probably your ages, when I was in high school, I didn't really have purpose. I played football because I was forced to. My parents said, you have a choice. Get a job or play sports. I played sports. I didn't eat right. I didn't sleep right. I really didn't do anything because I didn't have that purpose to. But it took me knowing I care about my family. They sacrificed for me to get my education, sacrificed for me to do well. So I knew I didn't want to disappoint them. So if your purpose is not your own, do think about your family, because what you do does affect them as well. So right now, like I said, I like to interact. I know it's a little bit hard because we're on a camera, but please feel free to ask me some questions. At this point now, I love answering questions. I love to interact with people. And truthfully, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know everything. So if I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up because I love to keep learning. So if you have questions, please feel free to bring them in right now.
Okay, so we are available for questions. If you want to come up to the camera and ask a question, I'll have to relay the question to Chase just because in the environment we're in, the echo would drive everybody crazy. But also you can, if you want to, go to menti.com, type in 528218, and we'll be able to get your questions by texting, and we can address those. So we'll give you a second if you want to text in some questions. They'll be coming in, or if you want to come up to your camera, I can see some of the schools. You got to give me a wave if you are interested in asking questions live to Chase about fitness, wellness, sleep, health, etc.
Anything?
All right, so we see some questions coming in here. So while they're answering questions, one question I have, Chase, is just the difference. I know that BMI has been questioned about how effective measure that is. And could you talk a bit about BMI and maybe some other alternatives?
That's a great question. I don't like BMI. I hate BMI personally. BMI is body mass index. That is telling you at a certain height, you should be a certain weight. Like I said, I'm 6'2". At 6'2", I'm supposed to be 185 pounds to be healthy. I have not been 185 since I was probably 12 years old. I'm the same size now as I was when I was in high school, so I'm actually proud of myself. But my body fat percentage is 12%. So I know healthy-wise, I'm still in a good place healthy-wise. I just know because BMI does not take into consideration muscle mass. So when you think about muscle mass and what you use, you don't really want to think about, oh, I'm overweight. Because a lot of people who lose that weight, they're not really happy. They don't feel better. Because if you lose too much weight, you're not only losing fat, but you're losing muscle mass. So keep that into consideration. So the question I see first is one about sleep. So do you have any advice on how to get the right amount of sleep, like a sleep schedule? So me personally, I have a sleep schedule. Now I said, there are always gonna be factors that might deter you from, but a schedule is always good as time management. I know probably around 9 o'clock, I'm getting ready for bed. That does not mean I'm going to bed, but I'm getting ready for bed. Like I said, I might grab a snack, I'm taking my shower. My shower is my indicator that I'm getting ready for bed. So everybody has their own routine. So I would highly advise you develop your own routine. Like I said, we're all unique, we're all different. So, and like I said, it kind of depends on what's best for you. Because if you're a person that stay up late, and you get up early, that's not the best thing. So develop a routine, the best be your time management schedule as far as just sit there for yourself. So if you usually go to bed around 11 or 12, just say, I'm gonna try to go to bed 3 times this week, an hour earlier. So also I got another question on BMI. If BMI is not correct. So understand this, BMI still used, but it was not created per se by doctors. It was created by insurance companies. Insurance companies want to know your BMI for your health factor, how much to charge you. The Cleveland Clinic still uses this, even on us, even myself. So I have to prove to them I'm overweight, because if I am, I have to pay more money. Because to them, it's still been proven, if you do have a higher BMI, you're at a higher risk to have a health problem. If you have a higher health problem, you're going to pay more for your insurance. So that's why they still use it as far as the health indicator. But to me, that's not the best indicator. Also, it's cheaper. How are you going to do a body fat percentage that takes time and money when they can just say, oh, based on your height and weight, you should be this? It's simpler. Because how do you go see a doctor, you spend twice as long in the waiting room than you do with the actual doctor himself. I know it's not fair because it's kind of a system thing. They get very busy, but they try to use the easiest method at times. And because insurance companies still use that for billing, doctors still use it as well too. Next question is, do I have exercise routine? If so, what is it? So me personally, like I said, I work out probably 6 days a week. So my routine is I lift light 3 days a week, I lift heavy 2 days a week, and I do cardio 3 days a week. So sometimes I'll actually work out twice in the same day. So generally, I like to get up in the morning, like my routine, to work out. Because if it's in the day, you're already a little bit tired, especially if you had a long day, you don't feel like working out. So my routine is naturally get up, go work out, come back, and go to work. If I have time, I will work out after work. But my routine generally will involve, so like I said, Monday will usually be chest, back, bis, tris. Tuesday will be cardio. Wednesday, chest, back, bis, tris again, and legs. So this kind of keeps that same cycle up. I take off usually on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on my schedule for the weekend. But like I said, do what's best for you. I know a lot of you are in school right now. You gotta be up early for class, but just find things that keep you active. Like I said, I'm actually very blessed. I work in a gym. I have the access to come here on my lunchtime to go on a treadmill for half an hour. So it's always very good. Now, even though there's really a question, somebody asked a question, am I fat? I don't like using that term because it's like saying you have a bad body image. Like, am I a fat person? Guess what? I'm fat at heart. I have no problem saying that. You know why? I love food. I love being a big person. But it's about being comfortable in your own skin. So how you view yourself is a big indicator of that. Any other questions?
No, I think we're going to wrap up here, but we do have a couple minutes to, if we could, and the one thing we is to see how the students answer on our online poll, which we do encourage them to go back and take that poll. Wait, actually, let me get the right poll code up there.
If you have access to your Chromebook,
so we want to
or
thank
phone,
Chase for
you can
coming
do
in
that
today
right now.
and talking about wellness. There's a lot of really important things to think about as we go through our day and understand that wellness is a lifelong pursuit. It's not something you do for a week and then, oh yeah, I'm good. And talk to your parents about that. They could probably tell you a lot about how they've gone through their lives. If you can, we'd love you to take our online poll, 714086 on menti.com. Tell us what you learned today. Also, upcoming Worldwide Classroom sessions. We're back here next week, focused on health IT, and we'll have some interesting applications, apps that are developed here at Cleveland Clinic. And we'll be sharing information about health IT careers. And then towards the end of the beginning of May, we're going to have Dr. Rodriguez, who is a bariatric surgeon, and he will be showing you bariatric surgery, which is very interesting in how they work in terms of tying up stomachs and colons and other things to help people lose weight. So we are very happy. Thanks again, Chase, for being here today. We'll leave the session up for just a minute for those students to answer the poll questions and tell us what you learned about wellness. So, and we will see you next week. Thanks. Have a great day.